Hi guys, welcome back to another video here on the channel. We got our hands on the Fenix A320. It was a completely improvised purchase. I was not planning on, you know what, I didn't even know this plane was about to drop until I saw mention of it on Monday, initially on EasyJet SynPilot's stream and a couple others. And, you know, I immediately thought this is something that's appearing to be extremely high quality, so I have to buy it. It looks amazing. There's a whole bunch of issues that I'm 99.9% sure are sort of my issues and my personal things that I'm going to have to figure out in terms of how to calibrate the throttles, how to... there's a little bit of aesthetic issues that I'll show you, but in general, it's a beautiful aircraft. Are things going so far in the beginning as smoothly as they did with the PMDG 737? Probably not. Is it a fair comparison to compare the Fenix team with PMDG? Also probably not. I know they're working extremely diligently on Discord to address our issues, and there's just so many different people throwing different problems they're having at the team that I'm sure they'll get to it in time. And I've personally opened a ticket for an aesthetic issue I'm having with the texture load. But before I get into this, I just wanted to spend 2 seconds to address something. If you're a subscriber of the channel, I'm sure you've noticed lately that I've attempted to go live and do live streams for you guys, and for whatever reason Streamlabs OBS is absolutely not cooperating. The video appears choppy. I could be talking for like 10-15 minutes, and after I end the stream, I'll go and only to find out on my YouTube channel that the video was only 2 minutes and it was completely segmented, and it was like the voice wasn't right. I don't know what's going on, guys, in terms of IT issues, but if you're wondering why I haven't been doing live streams in so long, well, that's your answer, and I'm working on it as hard as I can. In the meantime, I've been trying to put out videos, I've been trying to put out flight vlogs and all that stuff for you guys, but if you're wondering what I'm talking about, just go back and check out the PMDG Madness video that I made last week, where I attempted to go live online, and it worked for like 6-7 minutes, and it got cut off, and yeah, it's just streaming issues are really something, and I'm trying to sort those out. But now that that's set aside, I'm sure you all know that when you load into an aircraft in Microsoft Flight Simulator, you're able to set custom wing views or any sort of views that you want. How do you do that? On my channel, Simple Takeoffs, I do have a tutorial called Custom Wing Views. Just type that into my channel, and it will guide you, a quick 4-minute video, and if it will help you set custom views for this aircraft or any other aircraft. Now, my issue is I've set the custom wing views. Let me take you through it. For example, this is the console where I like to see the transponder, the predictive wind shear system and all that. This is my pilot, co-pilot, left engine, right wing, left wing, under. Now, and it really pains my heart, guys, to show you this, but look at this. When I look at it from the outside, there seems to be some sort of a texture rendering issue, and I've tried restarting my computer, I've tried loading in and out of the sim, I've tried changing liveries, I've tried loading the aircraft in different states, and for whatever reason, this texture issue does not seem to go away. Now, I have, like I said, I have started a service ticket on the Fenix website, and I suggest you guys do the same if you're having problems with any sort of problems with your aircraft. I'm sure they'll get to it in due time, and there's a bunch of backlog that they're gonna have to work their way out of. But this is really something that breaks my heart, guys. I mean, aside from this, the aircraft is looking gorgeous. The textures are amazing. I've heard V1 Simulations professional opinion in terms of how used this looks and how nicely they've sort of rendered the grubby used nature of the aircraft. V1 was talking about it, 320 SynPilot was talking about it, and my main guy, XP72, love him, love his streams. I saw him fly yesterday, and then in the Blue Experience podcast, they were kind of talking about how well modeled and in-depth everything is, and the systems and all that, and how every button works. And long story short, I wasn't planning on purchasing this. I was planning on waiting for a while, but they managed to sell it to me, and I have no regrets. But this is really something that has so far kind of left a bad taste in my mouth. The other thing, before I move on, for the record, this is only when this texture issue is only when I look from an external point of view, but within the cockpit view. So when you go edit the camera's config file, when I look officially from an external view, sorry about the loud APU noise, but this is how it looks. So you can see that it looks completely fine. Back to the silent view now. Another thing is, I've went ahead into this beautiful electronic flight bag that is part of the reason why this aircraft was sold for me. I absolutely love it. It's gorgeous. But I went in here, if you go to Fenix, you can set the state that the aircraft loads in. So under panel states, I loaded it cold and dark, and I like prior to shooting this video, I already set it as default. So this time for making this video, when I loaded into the sim, I expected it to load from a proper cold and dark, and look, I'll do it again. Set as default, activate. Now, when you do this a second time, look, it should load correctly now. So now it has loaded correctly in a cold and dark state. APU is shutting off. Everything seems to be properly cold and dark now. But my question is, why doesn't it sort of render this state properly as it should the first time I load into the sim? It seems like I have to go into the electronic flight bag and manually like reselect the cold and dark state. So that's another thing I've noticed. But and I haven't really gotten a chance to take it for a flight yet because of my throttle calibration. So I have the Honeycomb Bravo, and as you can, well, you can't see, but I'm moving my throttles completely back and forth here, and I don't see anything. I don't see any movement with the throttles here. So if I go to my controls options, if you guys can see this, so if I go under all, and I've set a throttle profile just for this aircraft, so we can sort of mess about. If I go to throttle here, now I know I'm not supposed to set it for the throttle axis, and they've fully made me aware of that in the Discord. What happened was originally I had it to throttle 1 axis and throttle 2 axis, and it didn't work. That's why I switched over. So let me go ahead and clear that right in front of you guys now and reset it to where it should be according to the Fenix team, which is, let's see, so throttle axis right here. I'm moving my Honeycomb Bravo, throttle 1. Same way I do for any other aircraft, guys, for the fly-by-wire A320X. I do nothing different. So throttle 2 axis, here we go. Calibrate that. And you would think that that does the trick, right? Let's see if it does. Oh, it actually worked this time. Okay, good. So that worked. I hope it's not something that I'm gonna have to do every time, because like I said, I did have it to throttle 1 before this and it wasn't working. So a little weird. I'm hoping it's just stuff that I'm needing to kind of get the hang of as time goes on, but it looks like it's on a reverse axis. So let's go ahead and call it back up. Okay, good. So we managed to do that. Let's go to the overhead panel. So another thing, guys, and I saw some other person mention this in the Discord server. Do you guys notice when you switch to the different views that it's extremely zoomed in? I don't know why. So, for example, the overhead panel, this is the default state that it loads in. I'm used to kind of seeing something like this. And again, that's maybe another issue that has kind of arisen as a result of me editing my camera's config file. Although, like I said, I've done nothing different in terms of how I edited my camera's config file as I do for any other aircraft, but that's another story. So if I turn on the battery here, and external power should be connected, which is good. Okay, we'll turn that on. We'll get the aiders on. Whoops. And what is this supposed to be on? Let's put it on STS. Okay, good. Let's see the wipers. Oh, I love this. The texture. Look at the little streaks they're leaving. That's nice. That's a nice touch. Crew supply, oxygen can turn on. Ground control for the cockpit voice recorder. Let's test it out. Good. APU fire test. Do I get an ECAN message here? Correct. Good. I wonder if I have to turn on my at least my left fuel pump for the APU, because that's how it is in the 737. So let's go APU 1, 2, 3. Master switch can come on. We can get our nav light on. Emergency lights can arm. No smoking. Seatbelt signs on. Everything has a very a beautiful clicking sound. That's one thing that I've immediately noticed in terms of differences with the fly-by-wire. Oh yeah, the switches feel really nice to click, guys. Good. Let's spend some time here on the electronic flight bag. It looks very nice. So we have a flight from Spokane to Seattle. That's our flight. Tap or swipe. Okay. So we got the weather, departure. So Spokane, Washington, on the 20th of May at 16:53 Zulu, which Toronto time here would be 1:53. So this is literally from 4 minutes ago. Winds are coming at 7 knots from the south. 10 statute miles of visibility, few clouds at 3,000, scattered at 9,000, broken 14,000, broken 20,000, temperature 8, dew point 00, altimeter 3014. It doesn't really matter in this case because oh, that sounds really nice. I've set it to clear skies, so it's not live weather right now, but just for the hell of it, let's go ahead and set that. Like I said, I really like the way the buttons click and the switches feel. That sounds really nice. I could just totally, even though I'm not an Airbus pilot, I could tell that switch mechanism, that sound, sounds realistic. I mean, I'm not a pilot, but I've pressed a couple switches in my time. You don't have to be a pilot to know how engaging switches on and off would sound like. So let's see, in Seattle, it is looking, winds are pretty much calm. Good. I was expecting overcast like we always do, like we always see in Seattle. Hourly temperature 9.4 degrees, dew point 6.1. Good. So it shows you your weather, even at your alternate. What else? Oh, and at the top left here, if you guys are wondering what the frames per second are, I'm getting 35, as you can see here. With the PMDG, I would say I'm used to getting 40, low 40, so maybe a 5 frame per second difference. Let's see, ground services, so you can do your GPU trucks or blah blah blah. What's PCA? Not sure what PCA is. Let's see, forward stairs. Let's see how that looks. Oh, okay, it just kind of plops right on by. In the PMDG, you see this like some time go by, and the stairs actually like rolls across and raises. Interesting. What about aft stairs? Let's check that out. Yeah, it just kind of instantaneously appears. Okay, that's cool. Pushback tug, you can connect. So this is where you do all your mass and balance. So what is this? Mean aerodynamic chord, zero fuel weight, mean aerodynamic chord, gross weight percentage. Okay, so you can enter your payload. For example, that's what we're going with, and it shows you where you are on the performance envelope of the aircraft. So as you can see, this is the envelope for being within normal operational limits. This is your takeoff limit, zero fuel weight limit, percent mean aerodynamic chord, I guess, versus gross weight. Maximum zero fuel weight 134,200 pounds. Maximum takeoff weight 161. Good to know. Good. That's a very nicely done up. It's a very nicely designed electronic flight bag. Shout out to KD Pilot, is who I hear kind of championed the effort of putting together and designing the electronic flight bag. It's just done a marvelous job. It looks amazing. Load sheet sent to ACARS. So if I go here, where is ACARS? I know I already set up a Hoppy code as part of my initiation, because that's what they said to do in the Discord to be able to access ACARS. Data link available on Radio Tree. Okay, so I guess this is your ACARS system, Aircraft Communications Addressing and Reporting System. You can receive messages. So this is our load sheet that we can accept or deny. Preliminary load sheet. So I guess this is sort of preliminary planned data that you enter into your MCDU, and then once the passengers actually come on board, boarding is finished and fueling is completed, I think then you get your actual load sheet, and if there's no big difference between the two, you can accept it. If there is a major difference, you can go and redo your takeoff speeds and your perf calculations. So I'll accept that. You can request stuff, pre-departure clearance, oceanic clearance. Okay, so this is your ACARS menu pretty much, I think. Weather request. So this is something that I don't see fly-by-wire having. That's cool. There's a standby altimeter. Wonder why it's not loading our flight plan. Let's see. So init request. It should load it up from SimBrief. So this is my SimBrief flight plan. We're going from Spokane to Seattle. And again, we're not going to actually be flying in this video, guys. I'm just kind of going through. Oh, am I freezing? Okay, this usually brings it back alive. Yeah, I'm just kind of going through the aircraft trying to learn what the heck I'm doing here, just like I did last week with the PMDG. And I really, like I said, I really wasn't expecting this aircraft to drop. But yeah, just pretend we're Alaska 2408. Cost index. Can we see our OFP? We should be able to see our OFP right here. That's cool. Very well done. Nice touches. Use airline settings. What does that mean? That's cool. Ooh, brake fans. We like brake fans. Nav in go around. So no, I would, if I have a go around, I would like to stay in heading mode, for example. These are different things you can calibrate to your liking. Cabin lights, visibility, units. You can link the, so what this does is link your altimeter setting, your, they call it EFIS, but electronic flight information system, between the co-pilot, the first officer, and the captain side. So once I switch it here, if I have this linked, you see it's changing together, both sides. If I make it independent, which is more realistic, I'll have to do it manually. That's cool. Auto jetway simulation. So I guess if you click that, then the jetway would sort of automatically connect every time you load. That is a loud APU. My goodness, that sounds cool. Nice. Turn that off for now. Same thing with the doors, whether you wanted to load with the doors on or off. 400, 300, 200, these are the radio altimeter callouts. Cool. I'm just wondering, how can I see my flight plan? Must be a way to show it. I'm absolutely in love with this electronic flight bag, how nice it looks. Navigraph.com/code. Let's see. Just gonna do this real quick. I know you guys don't have sound right now because I'm outside of it. Let's see. Navigraph.com/code. Simple takeoffs. Sign in. Code is 459 Charlie November 2 Tango X-ray. There we go. There we go. Import from SimBrief. Look how smooth the electronic flight bag operates as well. And we got 100% charge, so I'm gonna, wow, that's so realistic. So this absolutely feels smooth, guys. Like as soon as I click on arrival, for example, there's like almost no delay. Oh, and it has the correct charts loaded for you. Wow, 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 wow. So, or does it? Or no, maybe this is all of them. I thought it already pre-selects the chart that applies to your flight plan. But okay, let's keep exploring here. I wonder how you get to the OFP pilot brief. Is that where it is? That's what I was looking for. There we go. So if you guys know, like in the fly-by-wire, you can see it in this. You can see your operational flight plan in this format. Block fuel 11.247. Nice. So this is what I was looking for, guys. Departing at a runway 21, blah, 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 direct. Okay, so we don't even have a standard instrument departure or a standard terminal arrival route into Seattle today. It's just direct. Oh, this is cool. So they've filtered it so you can easily access different sections of the operational flight plan like with a click of a button. So you don't need to scroll through all the way down to find, for example, the weather section. You just click on it and it shows you all your SIGMETs and AirMETs here. And it shows you your TAF, your METAR for your departure, destination, and alternate. So you don't have to scroll through and find it. Wow, wow, wow. Awesome. And the note times as well. We all know how much we read all these note times, right? And these are the documents that come with it. So my understanding is there's no other checklist or PDF document that came with the download. So this is what I got. The user guide is completely integrated into it. And let's see. So now that we're able to load our flight plan, let's see, cost index of 5. Shouldn't it automatically enter that in for us? Cruise level, we are going 320 today. Now associated with that, we have an ISO deviation of -3. So that should be 62. Because it's 3 degrees colder than the international standard atmosphere at flight level 320, which is I guess the MCDU kind of uses the ISA setting for the standard temperature at that flight level unless you tell it differently for your gas consumption. IRS in it. Cool, cool. Okay, so now we got our flight plan. If I come here, we are departing, what was it, runway. So it wants us to go runway 21, which makes sense. Winds are not too bad, 160 at 6, so we can do runway 21. So you go here, departure, no SID. And we can go ahead and clear that discontinuity. And we don't have a standard terminal arrival route. Let's see how that looks. And if you guys are not sure how to set up the MCDU, the multifunction control and display unit, which is basically like the flight management system in the Airbus, I have a tutorial on that too on the channel, which is actually the most popular video. And it's actually no different to set up this MCDU than the fly-by-wire, so be sure to check that out. So we're departing here, blah, 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 cool, Wazra to Seattle. And I guess this might be the maybe the missed approach plan. We actually get a secondary flight plan here as well, and you can copy the active or make another actual well, let's see if I copy the active. No, what this does is just, I think it brings in my regular flight plan, which is not what I want. I want to be able to, if you delete that, so you can actually set your own secondary flight plan from scratch, which is cool, because most of the aircrafts, like the fly-by-wire, for example, don't have that modeled. That's cool. So now that I've done that, are my passengers loaded in? How do we do that? So in the A320X, I'm used to going to weight and balance, and that's where we load them from. I guess for us, in this case, we do it from the EFB. So we go here, we go Phoenix, mass and balance, is it? According to our flight plan. Let's see. We're expecting a zero fuel weight of 126,603. I'm gonna have to figure this out later. So if I put a low more cargo, what happens? 133, okay. Anyway, so once you figure out how to load it up, the above figures are live. So zero fuel weight right now, I'm seeing 97,000 pounds. But what I need, according to SimBrief, 126,603. Load sheet sent to ACARS. Anyway, we pretend like, you know, they're loaded, and then do we... Okay, so see, fly-by-wire, you have to click that and it automatically populates, but for us, we have to grab it from here. So we're going to pretend it's 97. Is this the center of gravity? 27.3? Okay, pretend that's the case while I have to go and figure out how to change my zero fuel weight to what I need. Oh my god, look at this. It actually has a bunch of phantom passenger names. Imagine as a troll, the Phoenix team like actually included all these correct names of like the developers or something. That would be funny. Okay, so you see how much you have planned, but nothing has been loaded and no one has been boarded. So in the PMDG 737, I know it's you have to actually open the doors and connect the jetway and stuff, but here I go to fuel, okay, pretend we have that 6, we're good with the 6.5. Pretend. So it calculates that for you. You set your altitude. For example, say you're cleared to 11. Enter any headwinds you might be expecting. Okay. Cool. Let's go check out the cabin, shall we? Oh, actually, before we do that, let me just check the throttle calibration. How did you do that again? So, add to, config, failures, hydraulic, blah, 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 navigation. Is something failed? Why is this? So you can activate so many different kind of failures. Manual failures, random failures, trigger random or set realistic none. Okay, so you can put this to like minor or all. So I'm assuming if I put none, then I won't get failures. Oh, here we go. So this is where, by the way, we just figured out how to load it. So under config, let's see. So again, according to SimBrief, we needed a 0 fuel weight, 126.6. Okay, I get it. So I'm gonna adjust this. There. So now we have a planned 0 fuel weight of 126.6 that matches SimBrief, right? So what we do is, now that we have our plan entered in the electronic flight bag, you resend your load sheet through ACARS to your MCDU. So you come here, and I'm just figuring this out like literally in live time with you guys. AOC menu, received messages. Okay, so this is my preliminary load sheet that I enter my planned cargo and passenger volume in the electronic flight bag, send the preliminary load sheet to the aircraft, accept it, and then I can come to config, passengers, how many passengers did we need? 140. Do I just put it like this? 140, and cargo we have 4,800 pounds of cargo. And I just realized I needed to do the same for fuel, and I didn't. So let's see, how much fuel does SimBrief say we need? $11.247. Planned fuel 12.4. I'm good with that. We'll go with 12.4. So that's our passenger cargo. For fuel, we'll go 12.4, just so I don't have to redo it in the EFB. So if we go to fuel now, that should, okay, so it automatically, it instantaneously, I guess, put it in there. So let's see, are the passengers still loading? Might need to get a stairway for them, just so we don't ruin the immersion here. You go here. My flight, I'm starting to get the hang of this already. I really wish the texture issue was not there, and that seemed to be the only thing wrong for me. That, and the fact that after I tell it to launch in a cold and dark state, that it doesn't for some reason, but that's besides the point. So let's, for example, say the forward stairs are connected, which they are. How do you open the doors? Left door is open, okay. Oh, you can even request servicing of your ground power. Oh, this is where you request your ground power in your air cart. Cool. Oop, let's not reset FMS. That was close. So are the passengers on board, I guess? Maybe they are. I wonder why we don't see the gross weight here. Interesting. So I'm going to go back to mass and balance here. Let's do this correctly. So we got 126.6. So now that the passengers have loaded, there's no major discrepancy between our actual load sheet and our preliminary, it seems. I'm just thinking, when do we get our actual load sheets? Do I have to go back to ACARS perhaps? So 126.6 and 29.3. Block fuel will go 12.4, update that. Alternate fuel, we'll call it 2.9, FinRes 2.3. What did I just say for alternate? 2.9. And contingency fuel, we'll call it 1.3. Good. Now in terms of our winds, unless we have crazy headwinds, we have, so let's be conservative. We have a 17 knot headwind. Good. RadNav, we don't really have any, we don't have a SID to follow. I don't think we're going to hard tune anything, but if we go load this flight from SimBrief, one second, it looks like my Simulink is not working right now. Navigraph Simlink. Oh, it's running, but it can't find me? That's weird. Anyways, well, we're somewhere here. So we know general route of flight, we're going to take off runway 21 and go somewhere to the west, right? So I want, just for situational awareness, I might, it's already tuned in the GEG, but for the course, let's go 205, for example. Actually, let's see, which way are we going? We're going kind of this way, towards the northeast, to the northwest, sorry. So what course would that resemble? We'll call it, if that's 270, we'll call it 260. So I'm going to put that in for some situational awareness. You see that's to our right, which is correct. Good. Now flaps will go 1 today. Flex 2 temp, so this is cool. I'm not used to having an actual performance calculator, but now we get one. This is a beautiful aircraft, guys. Like I said, my only issue, this really breaks my heart. I wish this didn't look like that, but aside from that, you know, I'm being a little picky, but when you pay, you know, 82 bucks Canadian, you want it to be perfect, right? Just wondering where the performance calculator, there we go, departure, that's your departure performance and arrival performance. So in our case, if we open up our airport chart one more time. So let's see, we're departing runway 21, runway surface dry, airport aircraft configuration. We'll go 1 plus F. Force toga, nope. Anti-ice will be off. Packs, let's go packs on. Our takeoff weight will be 138.6. Where is the dot? 0.6. Maximum mean aerodynamic core takeoff weight percentage. Now winds are pretty much calm. I think it was 160 at 6. Where's slash? Slash 6. 160. Oh, okay, you just enter it like that, cool. And the temperature is 10 degrees, right? We'll call it 15 just to lie. Altimeter, actually no, let's go 10 and then we'll flex. Sorry. 10. And the altimeter is 3014, right? Whoops. 3014. Click calculate. Oh, and by the way, this is the Metar was right here in front. Guys, this electronic flight bag is really getting me excited. How nice and intuitive it feels to work with. I am not surprised that a real pilot designed this. It feels intuitive, and even V1 was saying that. And here you can just click that button and you don't have to do what I just did, which is enter it manually. Now, sync load sheet preliminary plus 2,000 pounds. I guess what this does is maybe it takes your preliminary load sheet and adds an extra couple thousand pounds to it to be conservative if you click it, and if you click it, it populates these figures for you, the takeoff weight, I'm guessing. But I don't want to click that because I don't want it to screw up my numbers right now. But what I'm going to do is now we have all our information, and you can even do an intersection takeoff. That's cool. So we go 130, 130, 133. And I'm sure eventually they'll allow you to send it directly into the MCDU from the EFB like you can with the Aerosoft CRJ. 130, 130, 133. I would love to stream live with you guys right now, but like I said, I'm having issues with my Streamlabs and even OBS where, you know, it just seems choppy and the video kind of ends prematurely without me intending for it to do so. So it's kind of sad, guys. I would have loved to have you guys in chat kind of interacting with you, but I'm working diligently in the background to see, as a non-IT guy, how I can go ahead and fix my issues what I'm having with live streams. So let's go flex. Does it tell you what to flex to? Yes, it does. I love this. So flex to 64. Now the only thing is this should be probably, I wonder if it's Fahrenheit or degrees. Let's go 64. Thrust reduction acceleration, 3330, 3330. This is so wonderful how I'm not used to this level of realism. The A320X does not have a performance calculator tool. Engine out acceleration, 3330 as well. So I'm guessing, you know, 1500 feet above airport elevation. And we'll worry about that later. So with that, Kitty, are we good to go, basically? Let's see what this clock does. So much realism here, guys. So let's set our standby altimeter. Lock. Okay, good. Cool. So, for example, if we were to go ahead and push back, so we're at the terminal ramp, we're going to push back, we're going to runway 21, which is right there. So we basically push back nose to the right. How did we remove the chocks again? So let's go, okay. We don't need to put the APU on the bus since this is an Airbus. So we can go ahead and turn on all our fuel pumps. That can come off now. Beacon light can come on. Emergency lights are armed. APU gen is on, so we can go external power off. We can go cool. And just because everyone will want to see this, let's see the tray table. Ooh-wee! This is something you don't get with the A320X, in addition to a lot of other things. Beautiful. Like how it sounds, which also reminds me, let's check out the jump seat real quick. Look at that Michael Jackson glove. Fire resistant glove. Wait, how do you open this? Just clicking all over the place. Oh, I love the way it sounds. But I don't know, I'm not sure how to open this. Interesting. Let's see, cockpit. Does the camera work? Oh, the camera does not work. That's something that works in the A3. I don't know if the cockpit thing works, but I think we can just click on it. Let's check out the cabin real quick. Nicely modeled. Very nicely modeled. I'm clicking here to see if it opens. Not really. That's not how you interact with it. Okay, that looks good. Let's check out the cabin. Wow, I love the old looking nature of it. So initially, at one glance, what just hit me was when I looked at the PMDG 737 cabin, it looked a little too new, almost like I was incredulous to the fact that it's an older plane. But this one, I think they've done a pretty awesome job of capturing that fact that it's a little bit old. It looks kind of creamy and germy. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but the seats. You hear that? What is that? AC power running through or DC power or something like that? That sounds amazing. Emergency doors. Looks good, guys. I have no complaints. Let's check out the... Let's go a little faster. Oh, I can't enter here? What do you mean you're not going to let me in the lavatory? Oh, of course you will. I'm gonna get in there one way or another. Let's see. Okay, my drone mode's not working right now. It's a little weird. Whatever. Cabin looks cool. I'm gonna go ahead and close the door. Okay. Let's see, where are we at? I'm not sure what that looks like that, but let's just go manual pushback.
Cockpit to ground. This is ground. Stand by.
Oh, we forgot to calibrate our throttles. That's what I forgot. Let's see. How did you do that? Not gonna be there.
Okay, sir. The bypass pin is installed. All doors and hatches closed and all ground equipment is removed. Standing by for pushback.
there was a way to, there we go. So hardware, okay. Calibrate. Set thrust levers, max reverse. Okay. But I don't have idle reverse or max reverse, I have a honeycomb. So I'm just gonna skip this stuff. Okay, now for the climb. I want it to be as close as possible on both sides. Ah. So I see 6834 on that side. I'm gonna go 6834, okay. Flex S MCT, we go. Whatever, close enough. And then toga. So it looks like that was a pretty easy calibration process, except my reverse. Okay, we'll see how that works out. Let's have another beautiful look. Watch your ears. APU sounding great. So yeah, let's get pushback, shall we?
Cockpit to ground.
Go ahead.
We are cleared for start and push. Parking brake set.
Okay, cleared for push start. Please release parking brake.
Why can't I turn this on? Predictive wind shear
Please
system.
release parking brake.
Is it just me, guys, or can I not click on this?
Please release parking brake.
Click on that, but not that. Okay, cool. TCAS.
Please release parking brake.
Put that on auto. We'll keep it standby for now.
Please release parking brake.
And we can go ahead and this is the visor. That's cool. Let's go ahead and release.
Please release parking brake.
Parking brakes are released.
Commencing pushback. You can start the engines in sequence.
It will start in the sequence.
Starting engine number 2. This is actually an Airbus. Let's go start engine number 1 first. Uh-oh. Oops, APU bleed. Shit, my bad. APU bleed. It's on. Now it's on. I'm so used to PMDG 737 right now. For a while. Okay, let's recycle. Fuel pumps are on. APU is on. Into, there we go. And where are we pushing? Guys, I'm so used to pre-planned pushback that I completely forgot that I'm doing a manual pushback. Oh my
Ground,
goodness.
please cancel pushback operation.
Roger. Pushback
That's
canceled.
hilarious. We just pushed back into the terminal. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's get him out of here. Pretend you didn't see that. And starter's tripped. Good. Let's go starting engine number 2. So aside from that pushback mishap, seems to be okay so far. We were able to set it up from cold and dark, and we were able to calibrate our throttles as we sit here in the terminal. Oh my god. Well, it's not going to be cold at night. Nice and covered. Let's just pretend that that's not happening right now, and we've pushed back correctly. How does it sound? Okay, looks like we have 2 good engine starts. Let's we can turn off our APU bleeds now. APU going off. And let's go. Yeah, taxi lights are on, we're good. Let's see how the rudders feel here. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, the rudder inputs are weird. Nope, never mind. Maybe that was just because we were stuck against the terminal building. The rudders feel alright. I don't like how it's like kind of screwed up the first time you click like that on the view, but second time seems to fix it. Okay, so now that everything is good to go, we can go ahead and set our flaps for takeoff. And look at that, the flaps aren't working. Let's go controls. Let's go Phoenix. Let's go flaps. It's flaps axis, right? Unless it's not flaps axis for this aircraft. That's weird. Flaps don't want to work, okay. Look at the little detail of like you have to raise that bottom part up and then engage it, whereas in the A320X you just click it. So these are the little things that are setting this beautiful aircraft apart. Yeah. Auto brakes RTO. Let's see, ground spoiler. Nope. So that button that I bind it doesn't want to work either. I have to do all this manually. Yeah. So we're pretty much good to go. So if I go to plan, yep, the runway's on my left side. Let's hear the engines. Okay, alright. I like it. Why does it look so zoomed in? See, this is the stuff that I'm not used to in terms of views. So when I look to the right from my Alpha, my Honeycomb Alpha, I'm used to seeing that, but for some reason with this aircraft, it looks like that. It's like more zoomed in. These are all minor stuff that hopefully we'll figure out over time. Like, this breaks my heart the most. It really annoys me. I hope Amir and the great team there at Phoenix are able to answer my service call as soon as possible. For now, we'll have to settle for the external looks, external views. Definitely gonna have to work on the sensitivity for my rudder as well. Oh, I love that little rattle sound. It sounds so realistic. The sounds are absolutely off the hook for this aircraft. How about setting up the Airbus compared to the 737 though? Leave a comment below if you think the Airbus is 1,000 times easier to set up. I do. It took me a few days to get used to the 737 for sure. Oh, I'm loving these rattling noises. I could just feel, it almost feels like I'm in the cockpit. Like the little zzz as I'm going through every little crickle and crackle of the runway. Amazing, guys. So I'm gonna do a takeoff for you, and then we'll call it a video, and hopefully I can sort out these freaking live stream issues so I can finally go back online and interact with everybody and do full flights, right? That's what it's all about. If you guys are enjoying this showcasing of the Fenix A320, don't forget to smash that like button for me. New channel here. I would love to get your support so we can share this, help YouTube send it far and wide to whoever's interested in this type of content. And if you love this video, don't forget to give me a subscribe for a lot more content like this coming up, and like I said, live streams as well. Look at that little windshield ice probe. That's basically the indicator that you have a wing, not windshield ice, wing ice probe. That if you see ice on this built up, that means you can safely assume that you have ice built up on your wings, and that's when you can go ahead and turn on the wing anti-ice. So it's cool how they've also included that. There's our passengers. One thing I'm missing is the V1 simulations announcements. The ladies and gentlemen, welcome on board, and all that. Flight attendants, please prepare for takeoff. I missed that in this aircraft. One thing I did want to check was my performance tool real quick. So I guess the fact that it gave me all those numbers, it means that it's a pass, that we are able to in fact take off from this runway, right? So I'm assuming if my runway was too short, or if, like, for example, it needed packs off for it to work and all that stuff, then I'm guessing this that would have kind of shown itself when we clicked calculate, and it would have given me some sort of error here. So the fact that it hasn't, and that it spat out all those numbers for me to include in my perf for the MCDU, then I'm assuming that the performance tool deemed this takeoff as correctly configured and able. So I really like that performance tool. I really like the EFB in general, which I know everybody seems to echo those sentiments about this aircraft, but can't stop saying that enough. So we're gonna stop right here, hold short real quick. Parking brake set. TCAS already on TARA. Good. Takeoff config set. Cabin Landing lights, let's see. Strobe lights can come on. Cabin. Oh, do they not? I guess they haven't modeled the cabin chime, the ding dong. Ding dong. Flight attendants, please prepare for takeoff. And we said we're going to do a PAX on. We're going to do a PAX on takeoff, so I'm not going to turn that off because according to my performance tool, it's fine, good to go. Let me just double check that. Yeah, PAX were on, so we're good to go. Let's just go over here, go to here, have our OFP ready in case we need it. Alright guys, the wait is over. I love the sound pack. Like I said guys, even the taxiing feels like heavy. I feel like the aircraft really feels, it doesn't feel so light like the A320X. And nothing against that, final is clear. Nothing against the A320X, it's a for freeware aircraft, you can't really compare it to this, but the rattles and just the heaviness of it, it feels awesome. I just wish it didn't freaking look like that. I'm gonna lose sleep over this, guys. Amir, please help me out. But aside from that, if you guys are ready, all right, ready guys, takeoff. Here we go. Manual flex, SRS, runway, auto thrust blue. Thrust set, check. Oh, it feels like nice and heavy. 80 knots, check. Like look how fast, look how long it took to get to 80 knots. That's pretty realistic. And oh, this feels awesome. I'm comparing to the A320X, guys. This feels freaking awesome. V1 rotate. Buddy, positive rate of climb. Oof. Let's go thrust climb. Thrust climb, climb, auto thrust. Lever asymmetry, that's because of my Bravo. Just ignore that. Good. Oh, I'm loving how this feels. I'm so used to putting in a lot of work with the PMDG 737 that... Let's go flaps clean. That I'm not used to fly-by-wire for a week now. It already feels weird again, how you could just point it and it goes. So let's go, pretend we're going all the way up to 290. Let's go bank angle check. Passengers are enjoying this takeoff. I love that CFM, the roaring sound of those CFM engines. Alright, watch your ears guys, I'm going to go outside for a second. Let's go bank angle check. Climbing through 7,000, beautiful. Now I'm going to engage autopilot real quick just to have a peek outside. Beautiful. Ugh. Hate that. But aside from that, look at how grubby the windows look. I could just already like picture all the people that sneezed all over these window frames. Looks great, guys. Love that engine sound. Love it. Amir and Fenix team, salute to you guys, my friend. You've done a great job. I'm sure the more I fly this, the more I'm going to love it. There's 10,000. How about the climb performance on this? I can totally tell the PMDG 737 out-climbs the crap out of this aircraft. I'm sorry. But that's just a fact. Come on. And we don't have a lot of turbulence, so we can seatbelts off and the passengers can get up and chill. Climbing through 1 to 12,000. Let's check our pressurization. Cabin altitude 4,000, and we're pressurizing. That's good. Yeah, the takeoff felt great. Again, as a non-pilot, but as someone who's spent a long time flying the A320X, I can confirm that it feels very heavy. It feels like you actually got to like work for it. And I heard Blue Games say that on the Blue Experience podcast as well, and I would say that I concur. I agree with that. What else? Yeah, so far it's looking good, guys. I mean, everything seems to sound so good. It sounds so good. I just seriously wonder, how does this come out? Yeah, that climb performance is definitely slower than the PMDG. And we are in managed speed right now. Let's see, for example, if I pull speed, I go down to 280, I should climb at a higher rate, which that's indeed correct. If I bring the nose down to 300, it should decrease, which is correct. Going back to managed speed. 297, okay. Climbing through 18,000, I'm going to pull my altimeters once, twice, 3 times to standard. What else? Little underbelly views for you guys, nice and dirty. A320 200. View from the bottom. More wing views, wing views. Beautiful. So as usual, I really hope I did do an okay job of showcasing this for you guys. I know it was a little bit of a struggle, as I literally bought this last night, guys, and I never ever even set it up from a cold and dark even once. So today, this video is literally my learning experience, kind of figuring it out as I go along. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to smash that like button for me and give me a subscribe for a lot more here on Simple Takeoffs. And I'm actively working to fix my live stream issues so we can go live and have a lot of fun flying these birds together. It's the 737 and the A320 Fenix that just came out. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this takeoff. Ugh, please help me fix this. But yeah, it sounds great, guys. Almost reaching the cruising altitude. We're supposed to go to 320 actually, so let's go 320 and that's it. I'm sure the landing will be great, but for now I have a lot of work to do and other things, so I'm gonna have to call it a stream. But I was able to, let's put that back on norm. I was able to calibrate the throttles correctly and everything, and yeah, it's supposed to be a very good aircraft, and I can see why. Watch your ears. Off we go. Beautiful. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll be making a lot more content with this aircraft. I'm going to be making landing videos as well. I'm looking forward to see how it lands. Yeah, I think that's it. I have to go get to a couple of other things, so I'm going to have to end this video, but I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned a few things in terms of how to set up this aircraft, and yeah, let me make sure you let me know how you like this video and how you like this aircraft in the comments below. And as always, take care guys. Happy Friday.